Hey, it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 83 of my author's diary. I am an author of crime thrillers for women, and every week I take you through the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books. So go ahead and click subscribe or follow me if you haven't done so already. Now, I'm talking today about a recap, looking back at my goals that I set in 2020 to see how well did I do on meeting those goals. Now, before I get into that though, I will admit that I'm not even done solidifying what I want my 2021 goals to be. There are certain things I know, yeah, Angel, you have to get this done in 2021. Like, this has to be on the list. But then there's some other things that are like really flexible. And I'm feeling really ambitious, as I am normally really ambitious in January. Who's calling me? I don't even know where I was. Like, where was I? So I'm feeling really ambitious, like I'm prone to do in January around, the start of a new year, fresh start. I tend to be very ambitious. And so I'm really trying to say, okay, well, do I go ahead and let myself be ambitious and set some stretch goals for 2021? Or do I really try to just hone it in on what I realistically believe I can do? And I know what the answer is. I'm all about stretch goals. And so I'll end up doing that. But I need more time to kind of figure out, okay, well, what exactly do I want the stretch goals to be? So I'm not going to be talking about 2021 goals this week. I'll do that next week once I force myself to finalize what those goals are. So let's kick into my 2020 goals, what I actually set for myself to do last year. And I had completely forgotten about doing this. So I went trying to dig up, okay, what were the goals? Because I feel like, it should have been in the back of my head, but I wasn't quite sure if I had done some other goals that I, had lost track of, with all the craziness that was 2020. And so I had actually done a blog post on my website that outlined my 2020 goals. So I'm going to show that to you right now. Okay, so here's the page where I did my blog post from last year, the New Year's resolutions 2020. I did it on January 5th, 2020. I thought New Year's resolutions get a bad rap. I still think that they do. They are nothing but goals. I still agree with all of that. So what are my resolutions, aka goals for 2020? I won't bore you with the goals I've set up for my personal life because I failed on all of those. So I'm glad I did not put them out there for you guys to even know what they are or what they were. So I wanted these goals to reflect things I can truly have an impact on. Really, it looks like here that, and then I got into bullet journaling, which I love bullet journaling. Okay, so really simple, very simple and straightforward goal from last year. My art and writing goals are to complete the 4-book romantic suspense series that I started with the book I published last summer. So it was to write book 2, book 3, and book 4 of the Hero in Paradise series. And it's very interesting to note here that in January of 2020, I didn't know what the series was going to be called. Like, my newsletter subscribers helped me to come up with the name. Well, one in particular newsletter subscriber, gave me the idea for that name. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And so, in January, I didn't know. I didn't know what the series was going to be called. I didn't know what the book titles were going to be. You see title TBD. And this is the old cover. I actually rebranded the covers with the brooding military man on the cover. And so, it doesn't even look like this anymore. But the goals were to basically write and publish 3 books and finish off that series in 2020. Now, let's see if I did that or not. So let's walk through what I've done. And I'm starting with book 2 of the Hero in Paradise series, The Relentless Hero. I completed that. It was published in June of 2020. But guess what, y'all? It was 3 months behind schedule. Not good. Then I go to the Fallen Hero. Boop, got that done, completed. Yay, Angel Vane. It was published in December 2020. But are you detecting a pattern here? It also was 3 months behind schedule. So it's almost like I got 3 months behind and then I couldn't make up the 3 months that I got behind. So for the next book 4, not completed. Wah, wah. Okay, so I am still working on The Unexpected Hero. It is on track to be published in April of 2021, which would be 3 months behind schedule, because it's so weird, because I put that I want to finish all 3 of the books in 2020, but then when I look at my annual writing plan in my bullet journal, I actually had The Unexpected Hero published in January of 2021 instead of December of 2020. So I don't know if in my head I thought, oh, it's so close, I'll be able to squeeze it out and get it to be published earlier, maybe in the last couple of days of December. Maybe that's what I was going to try to do. But regardless, that did not happen. So Unexpected Hero, still working on it, on track, but again, it's 3 months behind schedule. So, okay, after I pulled all of that together, I really started to wonder, what happened? What happened in 2020 that I got so far behind and I wasn't able to catch back up? And ignoring the obvious, yes, there was COVID. Yes, there was the unexpected work from home. That was the what is going on with the world type of stuff that happened in that March-April time frame. So I started using Story Origin in 2020 to really keep track of the different phases of my writing process. And I looked back there to try to see if I could understand, how did I get 3 months behind? Like, really, how did I get 3 months behind? Well, unfortunately, and I'll show it to you right now, these are my goal trackers, and guess what? It starts with the fallen hero. So I really don't have anything that explains to me, how did I get so far behind with the relentless hero? I look back at my bullet journals and there's really nothing there. So I started writing the fallen hero in April, got about 50% of the way done, as I am prone to do, which I realize I'm prone to do. Then I said, pump the brakes. I'm going back through the plot. I'm going back through the outline. I want to, change some stuff up. And then version 2.0 starts where I actually wrote the full book here. But as you can see, I did another full rewrite of the fallen hero. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I ended up doing that for the relentless hero as well, that would explain why I got 3 months behind, right? This is showing kind of everything that I did for the fallen hero, but I don't really have anything that tells me why I got 3 months behind. And even with all of these extra versions that I did for the fallen hero, I only stayed 3 months behind. And so I've been carrying this 3 months behind the whole time. And if I had just been able to not get 3 months behind, I would have met all of my goals in 2020. Yeah, so in my blog post, I actually talk about how I love to set goals, but that I don't beat myself up if I don't meet the goal. It is something to learn from, to iterate, to try to, determine what can I do better for next time. And I would say that I think my mindset is a little bit different this year, because I do believe that I think I'm a little bit lenient on the excuses that I allow to be reasons that I don't meet certain goals, right? So I think that there were, especially when I look back at some of the details of my Story Origin goal trackers, I could see gaps where it's like I didn't write for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, there's no rhyme or reason for why I took 2 weeks off. Like, I don't know why I did. And then there I was like cranking through 4 and 5 chapters a day, trying to make it up so that I still met my deadline. And so I'm trying to get to a point where I don't let, and I don't want to say, because there are good excuses for not meeting your deadline, and then it's just, okay, you're just being lazy. And I'm going to need you to not be lazy. I'm going to need you to just go on in there and get a scene written and suck it up and just do it, right? And so that's more of the mindset that I'm in, because I really want to get to the point where I'm able to produce more books in a year. 2 books per year is not enough. Like, I'm starting to have too many ideas. And again, when I think about that and I say that about myself, it's a marketing, it's a publishing, it's a money thing, but it's also, I have all of these ideas percolating for different characters that I want to get out on the page. It's my creative outlet. And if I'm taking 6, 7, 8, 9 months to write a book, then it's going to take me forever to get all of the stories that are percolating in my head out onto the page. And so if I can find a way to be more efficient and to write quicker, I can get more stories out there and I can move on to more stories, right? So that's kind of part of my goal, is to kind of change that process, which I'm still kind of fleshing through. So I will be talking more about and going into detail with my 2021 goals next week, but I hope you enjoyed this recap of my 2020 goals, which I kind of got 2/3 of them done and 1/3 not done. And I still think that that's something pretty good to be proud of. So if you want to continue to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books, click the subscribe button. Then don't forget to click that little silver bell so you won't miss when I'm doing a video. And I will see you next time.